that same. We gotta get the same energy.
I think it's about what is your integral standards and values, and if you align with that, you have to take action accordingly.
Right.
Because, it's just like, how can you support something that your standards and values don't align with, regardless of, people can do a lot of great things, but if they're hurting people, I don't want to support them.
It's funny you bring it up because we had on a past interview about the topic we had with a pastor, and you say that, and then that's why we have to be very cautious on that because, like, I'm a Christian, okay? I don't know if you are or not, too, but there's certain things that we ain't supposed to be cool with if you want to use that same energy. That same would come with abortion or same sex, all that is in that umbrella. So we can't be hypocritical because that's our faith.
I think for me, I think when it comes to Christianity, the root of God is love, and so sin is inevitable,
right?
And that means that when it comes to love, that has to be I feel like there's a reason why God said love is patient and kind. So therefore, it's very imperative that we provide that whoever it is. These are our neighbors. These are our children of God. So therefore, we have to provide people with love. And I think people misconstrue things.
I was just about to say that. I think
they misconstrue the Bible. Like, we're not about to go out here and kill goats and drink their blood anymore.
No.
We're decades
That's what
beyond.
God and Jesus died for us to get over this. We won't have to sacrifice.
Like, why
you said one thing, and we'll get back on the thing, but you said one thing I have to put on it. Yes, sin is inevitable, but it doesn't mean we're supposed to give in. You're still supposed to fight it. So in a sense, we can love all doesn't mean we have to condone. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
So I can love my neighbor, but I don't have to condone what they're doing.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be disagreeables.
Yeah.
But there is a set, commandment. Mm-hmm. And so we cannot utilize the Bible to vilify people and who they choose to love. There's nothing about vilifying people's, choosing to love that aligns with the characters of Christianity. Because I feel like there's a religious practice and then there's the character of being a vessel of God. And I think the more we align with that, the more we don't utilize it as a source of hate. Because there's a lot of people, we don't want to be so dismissive of certain sins to ostracize human beings that were created by God. And I think that's what happens in the church. Because we'll, especially in patriarchy, like, it's nothing about, like, I feel like, why aren't there more pastors that are women when we birth the world? Like, that's not in the Bible to be like, no, y'all can't be a pastor. You know what I mean?
No. See, that's, we going.
I know we get
there. And I'm not getting on your case, but you have to do your homework because it does say that it's out of order. That's why they don't have women as pastors, and the book even said that's out of order because the man's supposed to be the lead or the head of that sanctuary. So it's like that's why it's set up that way in a sense. Like I had just told Candace and Pastor who was on our last show that technically there's no female angels.
So my question is everything in the Bible perfect?
What you mean?
Is everything, every story,
everything?
Nothing is perfect.
Okay. But these
so does it mean that it lasts? What's said in the Bible? Like, is there not evolutionary things that come with the Bible? Because at the same time, it's just like if women have a mind and a soul and a spirit and wisdom, there's no reason they should not be able to preach.
Me personally, and I don't want to sound sexist. I won't be honest with you.
But patriarchy is like this is the foundation of the Bible.
The whole meaning of helpmate.
Right. Yeah.
So you're not, and just be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of helpmate. So that doesn't mean since you're a woman, God didn't give you the gift of being able to have what's the word I'm looking for? The priors of knowing the word and be able to speak it out. But but if you want to be technical or be honest, that's how you're supposed to be in line with your husband, where you can instill that to him, give him knowledge to help him out as he leads that. Because if you are a woman of the cloth like that, and God has given you this vision, this way to talk, you're supposed to instill that into your husband so he can give it out to the masses. It's not your job for that.
But what about the virtuous woman? You know, in the book of Psalms, it's like the end of it when they were saying the virtuous woman, she's out in the community, she's speaking, she's helping, she's doing all
I'm talking
that.
about like Deborah.
Yeah, it's just like I understand instilling that into your husband or into your person, whoever
Right.
that is. But that's not the only reason why she exists, is to instill that information into Kim, or to like so he can like push it out there.
Because
that makes sense.
it was that way because he knew that the world is not going to listen to it unless it came from that male figure. He knew even though a woman is going to have the knowledge, though you might listen, but the world might not.
Maybe the woman don't have the knowledge.
But
I think, even though the woman has the knowledge, he knew that the masses is not going to like you.
Receive it. Why did I go receive it? Because I mean,
the way
T.D.
of like you
Jakes'
said,
woman,
his sister, his daughter, man.
His daughter, yeah, his daughter and his wife.
She's pushing.
I mean, they're receiving a lot of knowledge from her.
But her knowledge is her big base is women. Of course it will.
It's not just women.
No, her biggest base, her biggest group of people who support her are women. Like she has a big female following because of the same thing that y'all are speaking of.
Why y'all not following?
I don't. Oh man,
how do y'all love women but don't have the ability
to follow? But it's
to
just
follow
like in a sense, it's just like isn't a man kind of following a woman in a sense?
That's why. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's out of order. Like a man is supposed to lead a woman. So even if in pastor,
we can't lead you.
No, a woman can lead me. She can help me.
We can help, but we can't.
She can help me. She
can
help
I
me.
don't agree.
She can open my.
I don't agree. I'm sorry. I don't agree. Can't even subscribe. I won't subscribe to that because you're being led by your grandmother. You're being led by your mother. They all have informed you. And there's a lot of women who.
I'm not being led by my grandmother.
Who are you led by?
God.
Only.
Yes.
So how are you led by God?
Because I talk with him, my relationship with him.
Okay, so do women talk with God and create a relationship with him? So how is it how can you lead with the message of God and not women? If you come to a human perspective outside of the sex of it all, because I believe in loving people according to their human self, not their sex. Hallelujah. So therefore, if we're both receiving the message of God, we should both be able to lead
side by side. That's why you see.
So therefore, you can receive leadership.
Huh?
Women. Therefore, you can receive leadership for them because.
No, I'm receiving tutelage. I'm not. I'm still. It's okay.
Give an example.
For example.
Yeah, I want to.
Let's get even outside of the religion aspect. And don't be trying to be biased. Sometimes y'all be biased on these conversations because y'all know how it might go. If we are in a relationship and we're at home, and an intruder comes in the house, who you expect? Am I expecting you to go to the door to see what's going on, or are you expecting me to go to the door to protect you?
Whoever's closest.
That's not
because guess what? Women can martial arts train.
That's not.
And men can too.
But that's not.
I'll say from my perspective, I think that both of us should know what to do in that situation, regardless. Whether you go to the door.
Because what if you're not there?
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all are giving the millennial.
We are millennials. It's just
because that's not how it goes. Man,
so you feel the expectation. This is why patriarchy is such a detriment to humankind. Because
to
mankind, yeah, like just overall, because you feel like
it's also the physical aspect, which I'm naturally stronger than you. It doesn't mean you're smart. It doesn't mean I'm smarter than you. I'm just physically stronger than you. So I'm supposed to protect you. It's just like in the military. That's why they had it. That's why it was such an issue in the military when they are starting to allow women to be on the front line. Because you got to understand something. When you fight in a war, these are men against men. Just because we're in the United States and we got women in the front line, that doesn't mean Iraq got to abide by what you said. They're going to still have men. So that's why it was a problem when you had them there. Because then, even though that woman could be skilled, it still come down to it. The Iraqi guy might be skilled too. And that's a man versus woman situation. Can be overtook. And then also, y'all don't understand what it does to the man's psyche. For example, my dad explained this one time because he was in Vietnam, and he was like, that's when it started really trickling in. You putting men in a weird spot too, even on the military side. If we're both in the military, we're both skilled warriors, the man in me is still gonna have a level of wanting to protect you in the sense because of danger, because you're still a woman. even though I know you're skilled, something around above me is going to want to like still protect you. That's going to put me in hindrance because now I'm behind the enemy's line, and I'm not looking at my whole corners because I'm still trying to make sure you straight.
Protection is a human trait. I want to protect my grandmother. I want to protect my brother. I want to protect. It's not woman or man. Protection is something that has been spiritually ingrained in being a positive human vessel in the world. So I don't look at it as like, oh,
it's like a woman want to protect her child. That's still
like I want to protect people.
Right, you want to protect your husband too, but it's your husband's job to protect that house.
I think it's
and
human's
then she's
job
right there
to
behind
protect.
you with that I
don't agree.
I
don't agree. I think that people, I believe it like roles are established according to the relationship. Relationships are unique. There's some women who run the household. There's some men who decide, this is my lane. I like to just be with the kids, and there's the relationships that you choose. It's just like a team. When you're running a business, people have a skill set that God has given them that they know that they can deliver. And it's not a man, it's not a woman, it's not whoever you decide to be, you have the skill set.
I still have to say that's a new generation thing because at the end of the day, it's not even
evolution is inevitable.
But it's not a good evolution. What I'm saying is and I have to really say this on camera. Okay. We're the only race that's even having this conversation.
Not really. Well, we are the most scrutinized and the debilitating race that exists in America.
Hispanic household right now. It's already understood. That man is protecting his family. His wife will still be there to pick him up or help out if he needed right then. But they still know the hierarchy. Okay, he's a man. He's leading his house here. I'm leading his tutelage, but he's protecting us. And boom.
If you go to the root of your ancestry, there are very strong women warriors who also were the head of villages. And so, therefore, if a culture decides to adhere to the degradation and the subordinate of women, then that's their prerogative. But that's not.
I'm glad you said that because that movie that just came out was very misleading.
What movie? The Barbie movie?
Woman King.
Oh God! Okay, can we talk about music? This is the second podcast.
We'll get back on that. I'm trying to look that up because I'll say this before we get back to the music.
It was
The reason why I said it was misleading is because of the first off the term Woman King. That doesn't make sense. Then two, the whole story
Women can
of
be kings?
No, they can be queens.
Okay.
So the story, so that's already like okay, an oxymoron on that. But then on two, the movie trailer was leading like okay, they was their own separate king, whatever leaders would. Now you find out the whole story of the what do you call it? The homie, that's his name. Those are the warriors.
Yeah.
They was actually wives to a king. They was his soldiers. So how are you a king when you still answering somebody? So I was like, the trailer don't show that. And I don't know if y'all seen the movie. Wasn't that true? They all was wives of their king, right?
That's true.
They might not have been this confident. They might not was having sex with him, but they was up under his tutelage.
But he recognized that she had a skill set
he can recognize
that was beyond him, and so therefore she put her in position where she belonged.
He did
where she was ordained.
We said he did what? He did what?
She ordained. She recognized that he could not. He could not.
But you also just
deliver.
Said the thing though. You said he put her what?
Well, because his position was legacy.
But he also was the king.
So now he's shifting because it's time. It's evolution. He realizes the way. Sometimes you have to realize that the way things are not right, and so therefore you shift. Right. And he decided, wow, the way things have been is not right. She deserves this.
But he had to put her in that position because
of legacy.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Just because of there are some old things.
Well, I wouldn't just heard it was several of them, but he put them in the position. He seen they had good warrior skill set. And he again, because you said out your own mouth, he put them.
She did, yeah.
It wasn't a inherited. Oh, okay, I'm born now. He had to. He seen what she could do, and he put her in that position.
And he did, and he honored her because she deserves to be honored. However, there are old ways that are old for a reason, and now he is creating a world of a new way that needs to be adopted. When he put her in that position, the new way was adopted. Because the old way no longer worked for that village.
Well, to be honest with you, we're going to get back in the music. He put her in that position, and if you don't know who true story is the homie, they got conquered. by the male other tribe guys came and took over. So I don't know what happened with that. I'm just throwing it out there. If all y'all gotta do y'all research. You go back and see what happened after that, since you want to say that. They end up getting conquered by other men of another tribe, and it was over.
People don't win all the time. Doesn't mean they have to be there. Doesn't mean they don't deserve to be there.
We haven't. All I know is we haven't seen and I'm not trying to be sensitive here, but we haven't seen a female system in leadership since.
Is the male system working for us?
Yeah.
You sure?
And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. It even goes into towards the music. Right now, I'm gonna speak on the black community, the black race. Y'all the number one educated in our group, in our race. Y'all got the most money. Y'all got the best jobs. But still at the bottom when it comes to marriage. So it's like, what's working? Yes, you have the money, you have
lack
the degrees.
of therapy. People need therapy. They're mentally ill.
Both sides.
Humans require therapy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Things will thrive when people get to the root of their trauma. All we're doing is perpetuating cycles of trauma that came from the way that America in itself was ignited, which was through, demoralization of the culture, which is the African culture. So therefore, these cycles are continuing in our DNA, as well as in the white structure of how they want to be powerful over us. So therefore, if we do not heal ourselves and heal our viewpoints and the old ways, just imagine if people never fought to be free, we wouldn't be. So, the old ways don't always work forever. So we have to be able to get to a point in our life where we realize there has to be an evolution of ways. And that's including in the Bible, that's including in all these systems, because it does not work for the well-being of humankind. And ultimately, God wants the well-being of humankind and love to persist in all of us, no matter what our color is, no matter who we decide to be loved.
I have to say this, and I have to just put out there. The evolution that you speak of, and also the trajectory of our people, we're not getting better because of we're taking in what you're saying. We're going away from our norms where we were. For example, if you go back to the 50s and 60s, regardless of the white man on our neck, but if you look at our community, we was together because we did things the way things were supposed to be. He was leading, boom, boom. We was a family-oriented thing. And I'm gonna get some flack for this, not on the women's side, but on just other men I've been in conversation with, older and younger. They have admitted to me that they feel that we went left because of we followed a man's dream that wasn't all of our dreams. And when I speak of that, we're talking about MLK. And what's crazy, even MLK before he died said this, and you can look this up. When when he first started the civil rights movement, a lot of people don't know he was just like Malcolm X. He was very tactical. You ain't finna beat me up, I'm gonna beat you back. But then he switched when he had a certain guy got into his group. We get on that on another podcast. He got into his group and changed his mindset of turning the cheek. So it made us kind of docile. And then we cool getting hit upside the head. Just I'm gonna keep on marching. So as the years go by, boom, boom, we trying to really get these. We trying to fight for equal rights. But what we should have done was fight for equal rights. But we should have had separate but equal. We fought for inclusion. And once we did that, we forgot our own traditions and our own things. And then when the civil rights, when Martin Luther King was killed, before he killed, he said, man, I feel like I led my people into a burning building. Because he's seen it right on the wall. It doesn't matter what I do, they're still going to have a certain way. And now we including ourselves with them, and they'll never be equal because they're at the top. They have the power. Still to this day, as black folks.
How did they get there? How did they get to the
war,
top?
conquer. They took over. That's what they did.
All the characteristics that are not of what?
Of what?
God.
Yeah, because that's another subject. That's why I say. That's why I feel. I brought this up before again about the Jacob and Esau. I don't know shit about that. The Jacob and Esau. You know what I'm saying? Who are their descendants? And then you find out they're war mongers. The certain people that we talking about is can't say this on camera, but you look up who Jacob Esau is, and you look up who Esau is, and you understand where I'm coming from. So we're not devils type people. We didn't conquer and take over stuff. Yes, those.
The
white
issue
people.
is hate. The issue is hate.
Okay.
You know, I think that unification of humankind is inevitable. You know, people are going to continue to put their ego and their pride in the forefront of wanting power, but God has the ultimate power. And so my name means one who brings the knowledge of peace and love. And so that is my mission, that is my goal.
Okay.
So no matter what the differences are, that's what we need to bring. We can battle over our differences all day long, but ultimately, because you're a human, because when I die, I am not my color, I am a spirit, I am a soul, we bleed the same blood. We should not harm each other, we should not hate each other, and we should be able to live in a fruitful world with the bare necessities that is shelter, that is water, that is food, that is clothes.